prune, you really have to be on top of that. Hello, my name is Mauricio Avila, and I am the Director of Research and Development for Earth Science. Today we're going to talk a little bit about tips for growing tomatoes and peppers. Definitely watch out for watering when it comes to tomatoes and peppers. In soil garden beds, then probably between rain and one cycle of watering or 2 per week, that's fine. If you're doing a raised bed, you're going to need to water more often, probably 2-3 times a week. And if you have pots, you really have to be on top of that. You definitely need to do a lot more watering, more targeted. Don't overwater, but water as soon as you start seeing a little bit of wilting on the leaves. If you're using pots, the plants are a lot more susceptible to blossom end rot, it's called. The front end where the flower was will turn black. And for that, use a big enough pot, probably a 5-gallon pot is great. My recommendation is to add gypsum, about a pound, that's about 2 cups of gypsum in a 5-gallon container, and then use RevitaSoil. With that, you're gonna have a pretty good situation as long as you keep tabs on the watering. The other part is pruning, particularly you have indeterminate growth tomatoes, and even some of the peppers that are more lush. You probably want to do a little bit of pruning so you have better airflow around the plants and prevent disease that way. For more experienced tomato and pepper gardeners, you definitely want to look at the pH of the soil. If you have a pH meter, great. If you have pH strips, great. But if you don't, then I would ask a few questions. Are you relying on rainwater only? Probably the pH is going to be okay. If you water with tap water, the next question is, do you have a water softener? If you have a water softener, then you probably have high pH in your soil. Hard water has a salinity, and that's going to raise the pH over time. And if you're doing everything organically, like organic fertilizers and compost and things like that, then your pH is going to be high. So in that case, you definitely want to use something like RevitaSoil. There is an acidification component embedded. It's not going to acidify the soil to a point where it's going to be problematic at all. It will just release more nutrients for you to have really great growth and very healthy plants. The last thing is to watch out for nutrients. If you're using RevitaSoil, then it will be 6 to 8 weeks before you see the bottom leaves start to yellow up because of nutrient depletion, particularly nitrogen. So if you look at the leaves at the bottom and they're turning yellow, but not like disease type of damage, this is more of a generalized yellowing of the leaf, then you know that the plant is running out of nutrients and is using nutrients from the old leaves to feed the new growth. And then at that point you want to add your tomato vegetable or all-purpose fertilizer. I wouldn't recommend using RevitaSoil again. Typically it's a 1 shot of RevitaSoil at the beginning of the season so that things are proper. But if you don't see the growth that you want, then give it another shot after 4 to 6 weeks. These are some of the key things to watch out for. Happy growing!